So early decision is essentially you're applying to a school and it is a binding contract. You're saying, if I get in, I am coming to that school. Where early action is essentially you're just hearing back sooner. I love kids when they want to apply ED because, like I said, you can count it. That means they're coming. Deposits paid right when they get in. So I get excited about those kids. And when someone tells me that they're considering ED, I get really excited because that means they want to be a part of our program. And that's really cool. But at the same time, early decision is not for everyone. You don't necessarily want to go all in on that right away. And I certainly encourage all my prospective student athletes to, consider all the options out there. There's so many great schools. So that's why I really, I lean on early action because you're just going to hear back sooner. And it's not binding. So you can still, look at other schools and make sure you're looking at all the options in front of you. And again, you get that info from Kalamazoo College in early December or around Thanksgiving. So I think it just helps you put the pieces to the puzzle together a little bit sooner, opposed to waiting to get your regular decision in March, right? And then, May 1's the deadline and maybe you're waiting from other schools. I feel like that's just kind of like, you can just give yourself a little bit more time. Yeah.
If you're a senior, you want to be stressed out like that. So yeah, early decision at the Division III level is very akin to the early signing period for D1 and D2. It is binding. But it's just options. And Coach Daniels has that option to help you and gain some insight to, your chances of being admitted to a high academic school like Kalamazoo College. So typically, when you're hosting a kid, that's a pretty serious commitment on your end. But when does certain academic pieces start to fall into play? You talked about early action. When do you need to start looking at some of those pieces?
So at Kalamazoo College, our application opens up on August 1. So I really encourage all of our prospective student athletes to get those apps in and ready to go. Like you mentioned, as far as academic info, you can't really have a complete picture of will you be able to get into K and what scholarship you may qualify for until you get through your pretty much junior year. We do have some kids that maybe the recruiting process started a little bit earlier or their heart has been set on K where they have applied early decision. And I love that, I try to push early decision when I see appropriate because that just makes my life a little bit easier. You can kind of count that as one in the bag. But I really like early action for all my prospective student athletes, mostly because you hear back for early decision and early action around Thanksgiving and early December. So you just get that info earlier. The regular decision deadline is February 15th and you don't hear back till March. So you're not getting the full picture until a lot later. So I really encourage hey, get that stuff in, get it taken care of. You're going to feel better when all your college apps are in, and it makes it easier on my end. I'm not waiting for people to apply and trying to figure out what my class is going to maybe be in February. So I really encourage early action. Just because you're just getting the info sooner. And I think everyone wants info immediately, and Kalamazoo College doesn't have rolling admissions. You do have to wait. So if you get that in, you can get it around Thanksgiving. And I think that's early enough where you can start, making decisions of what you're going to do.